This is Umar for BoxNation in association with Global Next Trade, and Wembley just got a bit more saucy. The headline was from Queensbury, and that's because Lawrence Okolie is on the Usyk Dubois 2 card against Kevin Lerena, which is a world-class fight, isn't it, Lawrence? I'm sure you agree.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's currently a world champion, so it can only be that.
Obviously, he's given Justice Hooney an issue in that last round we saw. He gave Daniel Dubois a big issue when he dropped him at Spurs. So he's had those moments. He's never been able to capitalize on those moments. So, but Lawrence, I'm sure you're not going to give him the opportunity to even get close to finishing the job off.
The plan is to not even let him start the job, let alone finish it. Do you know what I mean? There he is.
Kevin, how are we?
Yo, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks, Umar. How are you?
I'm all good. I was just saying to Lawrence, things got a bit saucier at Wembley because you two are on the card. It's a world-class fight, Kevin. I'm sure you've got much respect for Lawrence Okolie. Obviously, he's done great things at cruiserweight. He did his thing at bridgerweight briefly as well, and he's looking like he's going to be a big, big problem at heavyweight. So how do you go and beat Lawrence Okolie, Kevin? Break it down.
Listen, man, Lawrence Okolie is a terrific fighter. You take away, he's also his Olympic pedigree. He's a great amateur fighter. Comes from a big pedigree. He did well at cruiserweight, and obviously it was a struggle for him to make cruiserweight. And then he went up. He did what he had to do at bridgerweight, like I had to do, and now he's up at heavyweight and did what he had to do with his last opponents, as I had to do with mine. So it makes for a great fight. I mean, I know Lawrence personally, and it's nothing personal. This is just business well, on my side. It's just business, at least. I'm sure it's on business on his side too. So Lawrence is a terrific fighter, and I believe I'm a terrific fighter too. And I've had great opportunities at heavyweight that have fallen through my hands. You know, we know what happened with Daniel and how he's come on since he fought me, and obviously Justice Hooney. So listen, man, it's a great fight. I'm all for good fights. I've never shied away from a tough challenge or a good fight, and this is a tough challenge, arguably one of my toughest challenges to date. But I'm ready. I stay in the gym. I live in the gym. This is what I do. So I'm really excited and grateful for the opportunity. As I said to Lawrence and Queensbury, Spencer, thank you for the opportunity. I'm grateful.
Lawrence, you've been linked with loads of names. You didn't really have to take a fight with Kevin Lerena. As I said, he's a dangerous fighter. We've seen that in the Hooney fight, in the Dubois fight. Why did you guys choose Kevin Lerena?
It just boils down to he's a world champion currently at Bridgerweight with the WBC, and I think that I'm on a mission myself to become a freeweight world champion. So if you know that's what you want, you have to be able to beat anyone that they put in front of you. So yes, Kevin is a very robust and dangerous southpaw, but if I'm unable to get through a test like this, then how can I expect to become a world champion again?
Yeah, I hear you. Lawrence, just to get this out of the way, because there are people still saying this. Obviously, your fight with Riakporhe didn't get rescheduled. For those saying, oh, you're ducking him, you're avoiding him, what is the response to that?
I don't really have a response for it. Do you know what I mean? I'm about to box an actual world champion as opposed to someone who I've had a issue with in a cinema. That's his biggest accolade, if we're honest. Where you look at someone like Kevin, who's a legitimate world champion, been a world champion at cruiserweight, given top heavyweights hell. So it's like there's levels. Do you know what I mean? So Kevin's obviously at a much higher level than Riakporhe. So I mean that says everything you need to say.
Okay. Kevin, obviously you said this is nothing personal, this is business. But if you were to break down how you go about causing Lawrence issues without obviously giving too much away ahead of July 19th, but ultimately, why do you cause Lawrence Okolie issues?
Lawrence said it. I'm strong, I'm robust, I'm explosive. I believe in myself, and as he does too. We believe in ourselves, and this is what makes a great fight. I think it's such a good touch to get onto this card because we are two guys who are cruiserweight world champions. You know, Lawrence and I were kind of meant to fight at cruiserweight, but it never really materialized. And then obviously bridgerweight, and then Lawrence went up and he did great things at heavyweight in his last fight. So I think it's all roads lead to Wembley for us. And I said, what am I going to do to cause Lawrence trouble? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. You know, Lawrence is a good boxer. He's a very rangy fighter. He's got a lot of positive attributes, but so do I. And it's up to me and my team to try to dissect those attributes to work on a plan for us. You know, he's got a good trainer too. if I'm not mistaken, he's trained by Joe Gallagher, and I think he's fundamentally a very sound trainer. So I've done my homework. I've known Lawrence for a very long time, so I know what he's about. So there's no going into this fight going, well, he's the red hot favorite, I'm the underdog. Maybe in the UK's eyes, I might be the underdog, but I know what I bring to the table. You know what I mean?
Okay. Lawrence, ultimately, why do you beat Kevin Lerena?
Mainly because southpaws are my favorite style to box. I think that it plays well into all of my attributes, which is range, obviously a good right hand, good timing. Um, since the amateurs, you know what I mean, I've built up a lot of experience with southpaw, so it's I think it's my favorite style, and it's the ones that I look the best against. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Okay. What did you actually make of his fights with Justice Huni and Daniel Dubois, Lawrence?
I thought it was good. I think both of them are like, obviously I've rewatched them. It's solid. Like he's got very good timing and his counter shots. And most southpaws, they got really good natural instincts of when to throw punches, how to throw punches, how to position you. I like the way that he sort of he does a lot of great stuff. He does a lot of great stuff. So I'm gonna have to be completely switched on. And just like I said, it's gonna be like I said, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great for me to show. I'm gonna basically put it this way. I'm gonna have to show who I am to win the fight. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I look forward to it. I really do.
Kevin, even though he's not a natural heavyweight, he's obviously a very big guy. He's really
Huh?
rangy. What's that?
What do you mean he's not a natural
What do you
heavyweight? He's
mean by
six foot
that?
six. He weighs 250 plus. Are you
No,
joking?
let me finish the
I'm not
question.
a natural heavyweight.
Let me finish the question. Let me finish the question. Even though he's not a natural heavyweight in that he started at cruiserweight, I said he's a very, very big guy. He's very rangy. He's very awkward as well. When you're trying to actually formulate your sparring partners for someone like Lawrence Okolie, is that quite a tricky process to get the correct sparring?
Yeah, of course. You're never going to 100% mimic the style of the man you're fighting, or at least not here in South Africa. Obviously, I'll be flying two sparring partners in. I've done my homework, but there's only one Lawrence Okolie. Having said that, there's only one Kevin Lerena. I am a southpaw, but I'm very different to other southpaws. I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm conventional. I'm by no means a great boxer, but I'm a fighter. I'm a southpaw fighter, and I think to mimic the exact style of a Lawrence Okolie with the sparring partner is not easy. But I don't really care what my sparring partner's doing. I got a game plan for Lawrence Okolie, and I need to do that on my sparring partner. Whether they can mimic Lawrence Okolie or not, which is probably not likely. That's not my problem. My problem is getting in rounds, getting in at least 30, 40 rounds of sparring a week, coming into the fight condition in my best shape possible. I just came off a win 3 weeks ago, so it wasn't a case of like I got the call 6 weeks out and now I got to get going. I'm in the gym. I'm living in the gym, and this is what I do. So, you're not going to mimic sparring 100%. Like if I had to bring in Maurice Vach, who have I beat him before, he's 6'9". He's not Lawrence Okolie. He's not rangy like Lawrence. It's more of target practice. Lawrence Okolie isn't there for the shot. You got to go find the shot. So yeah, it's all different, man. It's very different. But at the end of the day, I think sparring, you got to plan. You got to plan your game plan. You got to plan what you want to do, and then on the night we're going to see what presents ourselves, because what we see on video and what we see on tape is usually not what's in front of us on the night. And I think Lawrence and you can allude to the fact that that's always the case. Your highlight reels don't really show what's in there on the night with you.
Lawrence, why do you like Southpaw so much?
As I said, it's what people call awkward rhythm of mine is it's hard to explain. Really, but I have to just watch my fights with southpaws, and then you see like my rhythm is pretty like it's made for it. Do you know what I mean? Especially now, A, I've got a lot of experience with them, and B, like I'm at my natural weight. Do you know what I mean? I'll be coming in 265, two, I think, yeah, 260. I like the 260 mark. So I'm gonna be coming in nice and heavy. And I think, like I said, I think we're gonna be shocked by the sort of way that I want to approach this fight. Do you know what I mean? Because Kevin is a good fighter, southpaw. As you said earlier, he's not your typical, like a lot of them are sort of back foot, slippy, and whatever else. He's literally coming to land. He's, left hooks, he's right hooks, he's straight, like, mixing up head and body, feints. Like he's great. So it's gonna be exciting.
Okay. Well, listen, before I let you go, Lawrence, I do have to get your thoughts on these talks with Moses Itauma and Dillian Whyte. What do you actually think about that if that does come to fruition?
I think Dylan has been looking for an opportunity to sell to AJ or someone like that. He's managed to sell himself to Moses, and I do think Moses is going to be like stylistically, Moses is far too explosive. I think for Dylan at this stage, so I think it'll be interesting for like 1 or 2 rounds, and then afterwards, I think he'll just be able to land and get rid of him.
Was the fight ever close with you and Dillian?
Oh no, behind the scenes, you got the Warrens, etc., like what he was really saying behind the scenes. But ultimately, I've got a big opportunity here against Kevin. Who's going to be a much harder fight than Dylan would have been. So at the end of the day, we got 5, 6 weeks now, so I got to go out and put my best foot forward, and then let's see.
Well, listen, credit to both of you because I said it's a world-class heavyweight clash and it's on the biggest of stages at the National Stadium, Usyk Dubois 2. Kevin, just before I let you go, what happens on July 19th?
I'm bringing chaos. I'm coming to make an upset. I know I'm not the favorite. I know that very few give me a chance, but Lawrence has said it. He knows what I'm about, and I know what he's about, and it makes for a great fight. So I'm coming to do the business on the 19th of July, and I'm actually grateful for Lawrence for providing me with the opportunity. I'll tell you why, because whenever fights get offered to me, I really do get avoided. And clearly, in this case, Lawrence hasn't avoided me. He backs himself. So I respect that. He's a fighting man. And this is what makes this a great fight, a great co-main event. I presume it's going to be co-main event. I believe it should be. You got Lawrence Okolie, he's a WBC silver heavyweight champion, looking to become a three-weight division world champion. And then you got me from across the pond, South Africa, also looking to become a three-weight division world champion. So makes for a great fight.
Okay, same question to you, Lawrence. What happens?
Uh, yeah, it's going to be a good fight until it's not. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
I think there's an answer in that answer. Lawrence, Kevin, you're both gents. Listen, best of luck for your camps ahead of July 19th, and we'll see you on Fight Week.
brilliant. Much love.
Thanks,
Cheers.
Umar,
Thanks.
and thanks to Queensbury for the
Cheers.
opportunity. Thanks for Queensbury, and thanks to you guys. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.